During the late 1970s, an unsettling wave of terror engulfed the town of Circleville, Ohio. The culprit behind this reign of fear resorted to an unconventional approach, reminiscent of a primitive version of Gossip Girl, except with far more sinister undertones involving divorce, murder, and wrongful imprisonment. The perplexing enigma surrounding the identity of the Circleville writer stands as one of the most bizarre mysteries in the annals of true crime. The unsettling saga began in 1976, when residents of Circleville suddenly found themselves at the mercy of anonymous letters that meticulously exposed the intimate details of their personal lives. Particularly focused on their private sexual encounters, these letters arrived bearing postmarks from Columbus, Ohio. Mary Gillispie, a respected bus driver within the community, became the initial target of this disturbing correspondence. Through a series of accusatory letters, Mary found herself embroiled in an alleged affair with the local school superintendent, Gordon Massey. Mary vehemently denied the existence of any such relationship at the time. However, the letter's author ominously claimed to be a constant observer, surveilling Mary's residence and even her children. The message warned Mary to cease the affair immediately. Subsequently, Mary's husband, Ron Gillispie, found himself ensnared in the web of terror as well. He received a letter, asserting that Mary's safety hinged on his ability to terminate her supposed involvement with Gordon. The chilling correspondence threatened Ron with dire consequences if he failed to disclose the affair to the school board. One of the letters addressed to Ron contained the following alarming statement. "Gillispie, you have had 2 weeks and done nothing. Make her admit the truth and inform the school board. If not, I will broadcast it on CBs, posters, signs, and billboards until the truth comes out." Right from the outset, Mary harbored suspicions that David Longberry, a fellow bus driver, was the mastermind behind the disturbing letters. Mary had previously rejected David's romantic advances, leaving him with lingering resentment. Seeking assistance, Mary and Ron confided in Ron's sister, Karen, and her husband, Paul Freshour. They discreetly informed Paul's sister about the unnerving letters, ensuring that no one else was privy to the unfolding situation. Pooling their collective efforts, the five devised a strategy. Paul would compose a letter addressed to David Longberry, containing a direct accusation. In this meticulously crafted correspondence, Paul boldly asserted his awareness of David's authorship of the menacing missives directed at Mary and Ron. Encouragingly, after sending their own letter, they experienced a temporary respite, with no further communications arriving for several weeks. It seemed as though their plan had achieved its desired effect. On the fateful day of August 19, 1977, a pivotal event unfolded. Ron received a phone call that ignited a surge of anger within him. Seizing his firearm, he informed his children that he intended to confront the individual responsible for the menacing letters. Hours later, tragedy struck when Ron's life was abruptly cut short. His truck collided with a tree, resulting in his untimely demise. Prior to his death, evidence indicated that he had discharged his firearm. The official report issued by Sheriff Dwight Radcliffe attributed Ron's passing to a drunk driving accident, despite protests from his friends and family, who attested to his infrequent alcohol consumption and his sobriety on that particular day. Following Ron's tragic demise, the unsettling correspondence extended its reach to other residents of Circleville. These letters alleged a cover-up, involving Sheriff Dwight Radcliffe in connection to Ron Gillespie's death. In the beginning, Sheriff Radcliffe harbored suspicions of potential foul play. However, the individual allegedly linked to the incident, whose specific involvement and identity remain undisclosed, managed to pass a polygraph test, which served as a significant factor in dispelling initial suspicions. Furthermore, Ron's autopsy revealed a blood alcohol concentration of 0.16, leading Sheriff Radcliffe to conclude that the cause of death was indeed drunk driving. In a surprising turn of events, it was eventually revealed that Mary Gillispie had indeed engaged in an affair with Gordon Massey. However, Mary consistently asserted that the affair had only begun after the commencement of the mysterious letters, thus challenging the sequence of events, and adding further complexity to the situation. In February 1983, the unidentified letter writer resorted to a new method of spreading discord in Circleville, by strategically placing inflammatory signs throughout the town, particularly along Mary's bus route. These signs levied disturbing accusations against Gordon Massey, alleging his involvement in the rape of the Gillispie family's 12-year-old daughter. When Mary halted the bus to remove one of these signs, she narrowly escaped a potentially fatal outcome. It was discovered that the sign had been booby-trapped, designed to harm anyone attempting to remove it. Remarkably, the gun used in the trap was registered under the name of Paul Freshour. Paul asserted that the gun had been stolen, but he had neglected to report the theft, leaving no concrete evidence to support his claim. Subsequently, he was requested to provide handwriting samples to facilitate a comparison with the Circleville letters. The test administered to him deviated from standard protocols, as he was asked to replicate the handwriting style of one of the letters, rather than merely write in his natural handwriting. Based on the testimony of a handwriting expert during Paul's trial, it was concluded that he was the likely writer of the Circleville letters. At that point, Karen had already ended her marriage with Paul, and both Karen and Mary harbored suspicions regarding his involvement as the writer. Paul was convicted of attempted murder, and was believed to be responsible for writing all the letters. Nevertheless, even during his imprisonment, the letters continued. Astonishingly, Paul received a letter from the infamous Circleville letter writer, which read, "Now when are you going to believe you aren't going to get out of there? I told you 2 years ago, when we set them up, they stay set up, don't you listen at all?" Despite Paul being in solitary confinement without any access to mail, some letters were still sent. These letters grew increasingly malicious, with one even accusing the prosecutor involved in Paul's trial of murdering a pregnant woman. After spending a decade behind bars, Paul Freshour was eventually released on parole in May 1994. He adamantly maintains his innocence, regarding both the letter writing and the attempted murder. The perplexing case caught the attention of the producers of Unsolved Mysteries, who dedicated an episode to it. Intriguingly, following the airing of the episode, the show received a letter of its own from the enigmatic writer that read, "Forget Circleville, Ohio, do nothing to hurt Sheriff Radcliffe. If you come to Ohio, UL sickos will pay," the Circleville writer. The unnerving aspect of the Circleville letter writer's actions lies in their seemingly omnipotent knowledge. They possessed information about numerous people's secrets within the town, some of which were grave enough to drive individuals to commit murder. The rumor circulating about the prosecutor involved in Paul's trial revealed a startling truth. Roger Klein, the prosecutor, was indeed discovered to have engaged in an affair with the deceased woman, and was confirmed as the father of her unborn child. Additionally, the Circleville writer exposed Dr. Ray Carroll, who conducted Ron Gillespie's autopsy, as a pedophile. In 1993, Dr. Carroll faced serious charges, including 12 counts related to gross immorality, sex crimes, corruption of a minor, pornography, obscenity, and indecent exposure. The identity of the Circleville letter writer continues to be a perplexing mystery, with numerous theories circulating about who may be responsible for the letters. Paul Freshour, who was imprisoned for 10 years for the attempted murder of Mary, consistently maintained his innocence, regarding both the letter writing and the murder attempt. Despite being released on parole in May 1994, Paul remained steadfast in his claim until his passing in 2012. Those interested in exploring his perspective can refer to the dedicated website he created for the case. According to certain theories, there are suggestions that Mary Gillispie may have been involved in the letter writing. Suspicion arises from her seemingly foreknowledge actions, such as stopping her bus and safely removing the booby-trapped sign. Furthermore, the revelation of her affair with Gordon Massey, and the subsequent death of her husband under suspicious circumstances raise questions. However, it is unlikely that Mary herself was the sole writer, as some of the signs contained rumors about her own daughter, which would be contradictory for a parent. Initially suspected by Mary, another bus driver, David Longberry, gained attention in 1999 for committing the rape of an 11-year-old girl. He subsequently became a fugitive, and tragically took his own life. Karen Freshour, Paul's ex-wife and Ron's sister, had access to Paul's gun, and their divorce was marked by animosity. Some speculate that she may have framed Paul for the crimes. William Massey, the son of Gordon Massey, has also come under suspicion. The early letters targeted Mary, and urged her to end her affair with Gordon. Some of these letters were signed with a W, leading to suspicions surrounding William's possible involvement. It is possible that multiple individuals, including the suspects mentioned earlier, or other residents of Circleville, could have written some of the letters without being the original or main letter writer. It is conceivable that once the letters started, various people took advantage of the situation to voice their own grievances. The fact that the letters abruptly stopped after the Unsolved Mysteries segment aired in 1993 adds to the puzzle. The case continues to confound investigators, and captivate those who are eager for answers and closure.